Okay, what is up, everybody? Just gotta make sure we are live before we get started. We are gonna go over XRP Ripple. So people ask me all the time about Ripple and should they buy it? Is it a great investment? And we're gonna go into that today. What is XRP Ripple? What they do, and if I think it is a good investment or trade, because a lot of people confuse that up as well. Trading and investing. Investment is long term. If you're going to invest into an asset, a cryptocurrency, you believe in it long term. 5 years, 10 years, 3 years, you know what I mean? You don't plan to swing or position trade or exit and enter multiple entries. So you're just kind of holding on. You may add to the position, which isn't wrong depending on what price it's at or where it is, in terms of price. So XRP, before we get into this, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. We're going to be doing videos every day. We got contests coming, giveaways. We're giving away some Bitcoin, some hardware wallets. So make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell button so you don't miss out, because we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways because we're launching our platform, which we've been working on for a long time. So we're just giving a ton of free information, value, trades, opportunities, and things like that. So let's get started. I just want to make sure that, okay, yeah, we're good to go. So first of all, XRP. If you don't know what XRP is, basically it is a coin. Like Ripple is the company, XRP is the coin. And Ripple helps with transactions worldwide, and it's basically lightning speed and feeless. The fee for sending a transaction on the XRP blockchain is 0.000001, I believe, or it may be just that, but 0.1. So it's very cheap to send XRP, and you can see these companies or corporations sending millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, which would be immediately turned into their current or their native currency. So if you're sending 100 million euros to India, it would be turned into rupees, and they would be saving on the conversion costs of traditional banking. They would be saving the speed, which traditional banking, going from intermediary bank accounts to, to your bank account, and potentially that getting held up could take weeks. So now this happens in seconds, and for that cost. So let's check XRP stats out. Right now, it's just under 30 cents, 3,200 BTC. It's 3,200 Satoshis. We're going to look at price for both pairs. There is a ton of XRP, 100 billion. 100 billion XRP. It is centralized, so it isn't decentralized. It is a majority of that is owned, I think, by the founders. I'm not really sure. I don't know much about the dynamics of the XRP and their tokens and things like that. So you can see the total supply currently. Here's the max supply, total supply, because they are burning that transaction fee that I showed you guys. Think like this. That gets burnt every time XRP transaction initiates, but that's like peanuts. Not even, that's like fractions and fractions of peanuts. So currently there is 43 billion XRP tokens in supply. That is a 1.5 billion volume per 24 hours per day, and 12 billion market cap. Crazy numbers. So let's do a couple things here right now. We're going to look at the all-time high. I'm going to take this notepad. I'll just leave it there, actually. So let's look at historical data. XRP price. Okay, no, we wanted to go back to tools. So XRP price, all-time high was $3.86. And everybody has this, moon Lambo notion with XRP. So we're going to do a few things. If we just take $1 million, so $1 million, oops, not 1.2, $1 million divided by 3.84, you need 260,000 coins. So we'll just copy and paste that. Okay, that didn't work. 260,000, 417. Let's just add one more. Let's just make that even, actually. It's a few more dollars. So at this current price, if you take the 260,000 coins and you divide that by this price, I think you got to times that. I just screwed that math up. So where was the coins? Right here. Calculator times 78 grand. That's what it's going to cost you at this price. So if you want to be a millionaire, fork up 78 grand and hope that the price goes back to all-time high. So currently 78 grand would get you potentially, this is not financial advice, guys, potentially $1 million if it goes back to all-time high. And that's if you sell at the top. That's if you sold at the top. So 260,000 coins at this price. Let's look at future price predictions, because people are saying $5, $10, and you need to take the circulating coin supply by and multiply that by the dollar amount. So market cap currently is $12 billion. So if we do $12 billion divided by the coin supply, I may have switched that up. Yeah, 29 cents. That's the current price. So if we take circulating supply and multiply this by $10, that's what people think. What did I do? Okay, so if we take, circulating supply, and we go times $10, that's what the market cap, or not even the market, XRP's market cap, $432 billion. And let's go to, where is it? Coin market cap, resources. Haven't actually checked this in a while. I forgot. Okay, market cap right here. It's right there. All-time high market cap was, I think, 800. Okay, I can't get, okay, maybe if I did this actually. 833 billion. And for XRP, you would need, for $10, it would have to be just half the market cap. And Bitcoin was dominant, most dominant, had the highest market cap. So for it to hit $10 on the next pump, depending on where Bitcoin goes, I don't know if XRP is going to get crushed. I can see it going back to its all-time high. We're going to go into trading view now. So I can see XRP getting back to its all-time high, 30 cents. That's a 1,000% move. I'm not telling you to go and buy it. We're going to take a look. XRP BTC first. So XRP BTC, I'm familiar with it. I don't trade XRP much, but I'm familiar with it. Let me take these indicators off. I'll leave the moving average on. Shout out to Market Cipher. Okay, so let's look at the daily. Let's look at the monthly, actually. Let's look, this is Binance. Okay, let's look at a better chart. We want some more data. So Poloniex, let me remove drawing tools, you can see that these are my supporters. Let me drawing tools there. So as you can see, it's very cyclical. There's a ton of cycles, and this one was huge. What I find with XRP is it's super impulsive. When the moves come, like when volume pours, it just blows up. Like XRP moves. And for some reason, like everybody's asking, like, what about XRP? What about XRP? It's like Bitcoin's making these crazy moves, and like people are messaging me like, what's happening with XRP? And it's like, okay, first of all, I highly believe I think you should own a Bitcoin, or as much, maybe even half a Bitcoin, but make it a personal goal to own a Bitcoin before you start investing into other altcoins, because it was the founder of Litecoin. He even said it in a tweet: before you buy Litecoin, make sure to own a Bitcoin. Before you dibble and dabble into other coins, make sure you have Bitcoin. I think just recently I read that 21 million Americans have started using cryptocurrency. This was like a week ago I read this. That means that just in America alone, not every citizen or every participant in the market can own a Bitcoin anymore. So just that fact is crazy. There's not even 21 million coins for each millionaire in the world. So because there's more than 21 million millionaires. So it's going to get very scarce. Like the supply is going to be limited, in my opinion. And I do think with the fork coming up, it is going to just rise in value, and we might not see prices jump up soon, but I have a great feeling that the Bitcoin is going to pop up. So if you don't have any Bitcoin, you are missing out. And if you're just looking at XRP and like other coins, you might miss out on the biggest move. So make sure to own some Bitcoin. You can see XRP doing some big moves. If you bought XRP in 2017 and you put $1,000 in 2017 at the start and sold out at 2018, that would be a 4,800% return. No, I think it was 38,000. This is 2017 right here. 3,900. I looked at it, it was like $1,000 would have been like a couple hundred grand. So you can see here that this on the Bitcoin pair, that this retraced back almost 100%. I use this as a support. So you can see that we broke out here. We broke out and it almost tested this as newfound support. So, and you can see it did the same thing here. I don't know why this isn't working. Oh, the magnet. So this got tested. Almost 100% retracement, depending on where you're looking, the move started. And it repeated the same thing. So we are back down to the bottom. Almost. We still have a bunch of room to go. Okay, yeah, still a 60% decline from the last. Basically, support that I see, like this is a great support as well that it respected. As you can see, it bounced off here. But I think when Bitcoin starts moving, we can see this down to the 1,000 sats or even 400 sats. Like I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised. But we're going to turn on some moving averages and things like that, and we're going to look at strategies that have worked in the past that you can implement for the future. So as you can see here, we had a sharp like downturn. You can draw this about yeah, that's good. You can see this, even put it up there. So this is obviously coming down, prices crashing. And you can see here, this is creating lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And then it got broken. Market structure got broken. It found some support here. This is a 2400 area. And personally looking at XRP, and I've watched XRP do these big gains, like 2400 sats is a good area. When it falls down under 2000 sats, those are strong buy areas. In like the accumulation phase, you could call it. So now we're posting higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Essentially, we just posted a low lower than that. So depending on where Bitcoin goes from here, I think this will lag regardless. I can see a lot of growth here. Let's turn on the volume. So you can, yeah, you can see a lot of volume here, a ton to the downside here, a lot of volume. So I feel like people are accumulating it. This is, I do think it will come to the downside though. It will come down more. I still wouldn't get into it because I'd like to see what Bitcoin is doing first. So let's add some moving averages quickly because you can use these moving averages to buy and sell. So if we use 9, so let's turn that on. That's the orange, and this is the 4. This is the 4. I saw Socrates do this with Ethereum. I think you could do this with XRP as well. So when you have a moving average cross, so this is the 9, when you have it cross the faster moving average, so that's the smaller time frame, so 4, when it crosses over the longer, bigger time frame moving average, which would be 9, that is a buy signal. It's a golden cross. And then when you see this one, the 9, so the bigger moving average, cross over, it's a down. That's a sell signal. It's a bear signal. It's the death cross. So you can see here a death crossed, you sold, and it crossed again here to the upside. This is a beautiful, a very beautiful golden cross because you can see that these candles, first of all, you have a doji here. You have a candle breaking the top of this high, and then you have this big candle kind of testing the bigger time frame, so the 9, and then it just took off there. So you can just use these flips to buy and sell, but on a larger time frame, like this, the day right here. We could even go to the week. So let me just, okay, so you have right here, the cross went over. You didn't catch the top, but that's all right. We're not going to be greedy. We got it here. The top is 537%, but to signal out, you got it out at 344%. Let's say you flipped sides. You started shorting here, and okay, it didn't flip over here. Didn't flip over here. It did flip over there. So this didn't, there wasn't enough volume to push it over, and it got rejected. So this is used the support and resistance as well. So this is a great rejection. So you took the short here, you sold your long, you closed out your long, you set a short, you don't close there, you close on the flip. That's another 51%. You get in at your long here, and it flips. This is about break even, you can say. You get in here, you get out there. No, it's a tiny bit of a loss. We'll be honest. It's a tiny bit of a loss. I wouldn't be shorting it that aggressively anyways. After catching this long move and catching this big of a short, I wouldn't be trying to, I know that it's going to start consolidating. It's still pretty good gains, but I am now interested to watch for the move up. So it's still kind of consolidating, and then you can see these candles right here. This is a reversal. This is perfect, honestly. You get the flip, reversal candles on the weekly. You can see volume coming in as well after you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles coming down. You have more volume on the green side, and then you have this big candle. You have the flip in moving averages. You have this supporting this. I would have got in there, and it hadn't flipped back since up there. So let's take our measurement ruler. At that 1700%, crazy. So this is a great strategy. Okay, you flipped now. You are going to take a short. You take a short from here. It did reject nicely off that as well using resistance. It flipped there. You're only in for a mean 52%. You can't complain. It faked you out, and you maybe take a loss here, very minimal, a couple percent, but you got back into the short and you sold right here on the flip. You flipped again because these are the big moves that are coming. Now look, you found out this is a great resistance support line. This was a perfect tap, as you can see, and you have this huge like engulfing bullish candle right here, and you got the flip out on the moving averages and golden cross. So you go long again here. And taking a look at the old resistance levels here, because this is on the weekly, so we can go on the daily, on the 4 hour, on the hour, we can spot resistance levels here. And instead of waiting to sell here, we can start taking some sells up in here, because we know where it got rejected last time. So instead of waiting for this, we can start taking some sells on the 500%. We flip out, we short here. This is a great strategy. So just wanted to backtest with you guys and show you guys how well it works. So let's see where we are at right now. We have just came to the downside. This is on the weekly. And at the bottom, usually as well, they are less likely to fake you out. So as you can see here, the moving averages were pointing down. They're pointing down. Moving averages are pointing down. You are in a downtrend. It's bearish. And when they're pointing up, it's bullish. So you can see that they're pointing down here. They flipped. It started going up. It flipped again to the downside. So that's what we could see here, because this is a golden cross. As you can see, you got a doji right here. You got this big green candle. It's looking super bullish. This is a cross, a golden cross. So unless we play something out like this, it's just like a small fake out here. A small fake out, and we come back down to the downside. I would be interested in buying if I see some sort of reversal around here. Or if Bitcoin starts moving and I see a bit more confirmation on an overall cryptocurrency bull market, then I'm like, okay, I can start going into other positions. But if we start coming to the downside, I know every other coin's going to come to the downside. So even though there's a ton of volume here on the weekly, look at that. I still want to just see what Bitcoin does. So let's look at XRP USD as well. Bitstamp probably has a lot of history. So we have the golden cross here as well. This pushed to the upside, but look at how large this candle is, and it's kind of unconvincing. Or there's a lot of downside here, but this should be a green volume bar because it pushed it all the way back up. So there's a ton of more buying in this candle. Then there was a lot of selling taking place, but a ton of buying up here as well. Definitely a good price at 22 cents. That is as cheap as it got, actually. Yeah, 22 cents is as cheap as it's got since, 14 cents. Yeah, so I would personally, if I could buy around, this is on the weekly. So if I could buy in this area, if it came down to 15 cents and started using this as support, and we saw some golden crosses or some reversal candles, then I would consider buying XRP, because the downside from 15 cents, I would have a pretty tight stop loss, because if it breaks down here, I don't know where it could end up going, but the upside is huge on that. Even if it goes back to 30, 40, 50 cents, I've multiplied my trading position multiple times. So here we have the golden cross. It's went up a bit. This is on the weekly. Let's look on the daily. On the daily, I'm going to change this to more of a traditional 50. So the blue or the orange is 50 and this is 200. Oh, I just switched the same thing. Okay, so that's 200 and this is 50. Okay, so we have the 200. We have now the slow 50, the smaller one. So it's the faster moving average crossing over the 200, which is ultra bearish. That's a death cross. So you can see here, if the price was closer to here and it tapped, I could have taken a short, but it's so far away already from the moving averages, and they tend to move towards them, as you can see. So we are under the 200, just above the 50. It's kind of consolidating right now. It's a no trade zone for me, unless you could use like a strategy to buy when it breaks above or to short when it breaks under. But I think it all depends on the Bitcoin market and where Bitcoin is going, to be honest, because if it crashes, this is going to crash below. That's guaranteed. And if Bitcoin starts shooting up, maybe the USD value of XRP is going to shoot up, but the BTC value, which we just looked at, it can come down. The 1200, 14, 1500, even 400 sats, it could get demolished in the Bitcoin pair. So I would watch out what you'd be using Bitcoin to buy specifically in this time of market, because it's very both sides. If we crash down from here, if we crash up, like we just took a huge pump. If we emulate that to the downside, to the upside, Bitcoin pairs for cryptocurrencies will get smashed for a bit. So that's it on XRP. Did I answer the question? Should you buy some? To me right now, it's not a buy. I wouldn't buy some XRP. I would wait. Impatience is everything. If you miss a little bit of a move to get into a confirmed bull, that's a good opportunity. Like I'll take that all day. I missed one move, the breakout move, or I can catch it if I'm watching. But if I miss a breakout move, but now we're like confirmed bullish, we're breaking up to the upside, and I can catch a pullback, I'd prefer that than trying to guess the bottom or to the top. But if you don't have any cryptocurrency, don't buy XRP. Start buying some Bitcoin. $50, $100, $200 worth, because it still has the highest chance of success. And like I said earlier with the statistics, there's not even enough Bitcoin for the amount of users. In terms of owning one Bitcoin, there's not enough Bitcoin for the amount of people or participants in the market right now. There's not enough Bitcoins for 21 million millionaires, because there's more millionaires of 21 million than 21 million coins. And the statistics are just crazy. I even have this one. Where was it? Bitcoin. I'm going to pull this up and then I'm going to let you guys go. So in terms of strongest asset, where was it? Hopefully that's it. Yeah. So Bitcoin, this is from Woo Bull, Willy Woo. I got this from him in Bali. I took this off his website after, because it's crazy. So Bitcoin, over a 4-year hodl period, is the strongest asset in the world. Bitcoin, not XRP, Not XRP, not Litecoin, Bitcoin. Willie is super smart. Go check his website at wooble.com. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like, comment, anything you want to see. We're coming at you guys daily with our contests, giving away Bitcoin, hardware wallets, experiences. So make sure to subscribe, like, comment. I will see you guys in the next video.